Hi there, my name is Daniel Markham, and I've got a book that I think is going to change your programming career forever. I've always been as much a creative person as a technical person, and because of that, I've been interested both in programming and how people get along with one another before and during the process of programming. I found a lot of books are about management and agile and that kind of foofy stuff. A lot of really good books about technical stuff, how to program, how to architect systems. Read as many of those as I could, but I didn't find any books about that intersection point of how humans interact with the IDE and the programming language right in the moment, what I call the crisis point. And so I thought, well, hell, I'll write one. And the book here is called InfoOps 2. I wrote a first book on how to sort of come up with solutions people need. And this book is really more about just you, the programmer, and the IDE, the programming language, the architecture. How can you sort of get the most out of that relationship you're having? Because the relationship between the programmer and the programming language and the infrastructure is probably a lot more complex than most people would like to think about. And if you know what you're doing, you can really kick some serious ass. So I wanted to do if I wanted to write a book, I decided I wanted to do four things for sure. I wanted to do some real world coding. I wasn't going to write any kind of book that didn't have code in it. I wanted to go over some theory because I thought it was important to have some sort of foundational theory to understand what the hell I'm talking about. I wanted to have some truly new concepts. I don't care if these concepts are right or wrong. Maybe I'm smoking crack. That's fine. I just wanted to give you some new ideas to think about your career and what you're doing in different ways. Finally, I really wanted to challenge people. I think we can just do a tremendous amount better than we're currently doing. And I don't think we're doing that. You can see some of the questions that I had about all this that I went and decided I wanted to try to answer. I think I answered most of them fairly well. Things like how can you code error-free, fail-safe programs? Do I have to choose between a monolith and microservice or a cloud distributed system while I'm architecting the system? I don't think that's true. I think you can actually create a system in such a way that the deployment package is completely independent of what the system does. Can you decrease tests by using different strategies like strong typing? Yes, you can. You probably should know how to do that. How could we measure true artificial general intelligence? I think there's some new ways of doing that. Are we as ethical as programmers as we're supposed to be? And I know other people are starting to get hot about this. I've been on about this for about 10 years now. Computers have an impact on us that we're just now beginning to understand. It's important to understand that if we're going to sort of have this symbiotic relationship going forward. And in each of those four categories, I think I delivered this fairly well as I could. I have three real-world examples of programming systems. I have what I call the ladder of civilizations, which sort of maps intelligence from an amoeba on up to sort of science and the universe. And it gives you a mapping system that you can sort of talk about AGI and learning at scale and all those other things. I talk about something I call supercompilers, which is really cool. Supercompilers are already out now. I've seen 3 or 4 examples. I haven't seen anything doing what I'm talking about yet. You're going to be excited. It's cool stuff. Language-free programming languages, also very cool. And then I come up with some new concepts I hope you haven't heard of. If you have somebody stealing my freaking ideas, code budgets, code cognitive load, and what I call incremental strong typing. So this is some new stuff here, stuff you haven't seen before, stuff that should challenge you to sort of change your life. Programming is applied philosophy. That's the long and short of it. And that has sort of a deep resonance and deep meaning for anybody that's a human being. There are spoken languages, there are written languages, there are programming languages. Even though all 3 of those phrases have the word language in them, they're 3 completely freaking different things, and they have different rules that they abide by. You have to be able to work with all 3 of those as somebody who provides solutions for human beings. Finally, I think what sort of struck me as profound over the years is that we humans are quite incapable of reasoning at scale what the impact of our computer systems are doing. I think we think that we write a system that pops a bell up for the user, and it does, but then there's 100 other systems that pops a bell up and 100 bells ringing, and suddenly the user is quite distracted. We do a terrible job of thinking at scale. So that's my pitch. Drop on by. If you're not happy with the book, there's a money back guarantee. Please, if there's something you get hung up on, let me know. I'm happy to do a video on it. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your energy. I'm Daniel Markham. I will see you on the internet.